So I just watched the Trump Hall debate, if you can call it a debate, where on NBC a female reporter questioned Trump along with questions from people in the audience about his presidency, about his campaign, and wow, what a disaster. Not for Trump. Trump did pretty good. Actually, he did really good. But the reporter was an absolute joke. She was asking all of these loaded, unfair questions to President Trump, and, Trump called her out. He did what he had to do. He said, wow, I can't believe you're asking me these questions. You're trying to defame me. He made a lot of good points. He brought up the corruption. He brought up the Russia hoax and how actually it's Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and the DNC who are cutting deals with Russia. Big corruption. What I found really interesting about the debate, though, other than the malicious reporter who had absolute Karen energy, literally the biggest Karen I've ever seen, and she kept smiling, and she had these wide eyes. It was, really creepy. Absolute Karen. But I noticed that all of the people they brought to ask questions, they were all women. There was literally, one dude who got to ask a question. Is this what they mean by equality, right? So there was that. Trump did pretty good. I feel like he could have been more specific with some questions, but, as you've come to expect, President Trump is attacked so much that he's kind of always playing the defensive. So when he answers a question, he always, he's 2 steps ahead, and he's already addressing any arguments that might be made against him. So that I kind of wish he was a little more specific about the questions, but at the same time, I understand why he has to answer the way he does. All in all, it was a very good, it was a good showing, not because of the NBC, which was a complete and utter joke, but because of Trump and the questions. Pretty good parts, pretty good highlights. I think he did a good job, and he basically explained, look, the pandemic is a cause of most of the things that the Democrats are complaining about. Once the pandemic ends, and it will come to an end eventually. The economy is going to be just fine, the country is going to be fine, and all of the success we've seen under the Trump administration will continue. Now, here are some highlights from the town hall that you may enjoy, with commentary. Let's go.
We've got more questions on COVID, so let's drop it for now. We were supposed to, as mentioned, be watching you on a debate stage right now. We're not doing that, so let's clear up a few things from the last one. You were asked point blank to denounce white supremacy.
Oh my God, shut up.
You asked some follow-up questions.
This is such a propaganda question. They're full of crap.
On a different show, you denounced white supremacy.
No,
my question to you is,
you've done this to me and everybody.
Why does it seem like
I denounced white supremacy, okay?
You did 2 days later.
I denounced white supremacy for years, but you always do it. You always start off with a question. You didn't ask Joe Biden whether or not he denounces Antifa.
Damn right.
On the same basic show with Lester Holt, and he was asking questions like Biden was a child.
So this is a little bit of a dodge.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
What's your next question?
Do you feel, it feels sometimes you're hesitant to do so, like you wait a beat.
Here we go again. Every time.
Put her in her place, Trump. Put her in her place.
White supremacy question. I denounce white supremacy. Okay. And frankly, you want to know something? I denounce Antifa, and I denounce these people that are burning down our cities that are run by Democrats who don't know what they're doing.
While we're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory.
Really? Oh my God, these people are deranged.
Democrats are a satanic.
Who gives a shit about this cult?
You are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that is...
He probably doesn't even know what it is.
True, and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
Exactly.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate
Funny.
to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is
If
a
you'd like
satanic
me to
cult run by the deep
study
state.
The subject, I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning.
Love the black woman in the back nodding her head. She's like,
Ben Sass said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories.
What about the Democrats' conspiracy theories?
When I see thousands of ballots dumped in a garbage can and they happen to have my name on it, I'm not happy about that.
Okay, but just those are there is in fact no evidence of widespread.
Oh my God! I hate the media.
Our democracy.
They deserve to go down.
Newspapers,
I do.
you do watch the news. I know you read the
I
news.
do.
But you
I do
watch
it, and you shut up.
Because every day they're talking about ballots.
God, her smug smile.
that are fraudulent.
Destroy her, Trump. Destroy her.
I
don't
go
want
play
that to
tennis
happen.
with my husband and I say my ankle's
Do you
hurting
know
right
what?
now.
I don't want that to happen, Savannah.
She's lied to her husband before.
Alonzo, come on out, Christy. She is leaning slightly towards you, she says.
They haven't had a single male questioner.
Hold the mic close and let's hear
Talk
your
about
question.
equality.
Our next question comes from, this is interesting. She voted for Clinton in 2016.
She. It's her turn, guys. It's her turn.
She says she's truly undecided.
Really?
Becky Lightman.
Are we gonna have a dude?
Becky, what's your
A
question?
single man.
I'm great. How are
He's
you?
gonna be black.
Americans think that corporations don't pay their share of taxes and want to see those tax rates increase.
Yeah, you can increase it, and then the businesses will leave. Good job.
Maybe tell them why you want the corporate tax rate lower and why that helps them.
It's a great question. We've created more jobs than this country has ever created. We were up to 160 million jobs. We were never even close to that number. We were just hitting 160 million jobs. Companies are pouring into our nation because of the tax rate. And if Biden comes in and raises taxes on everybody, including middle income taxes, which he wants to do, you will blow this thing and you'll end up with a depression, the likes of which you've never had. That's what's going to happen.
On the subject
Thank
of
you.
taxes, as you know, the New York Times has obtained, it says, years of your tax returns.
Illegally, by the way, illegally obtained.
Debts of approximately $421 million that you have personally.
Yeah, that's normal.
I'm very when I decided to run, I'm very under-levered, fortunately, but I'm very under-levered. I have a very, very small percentage of debt compared, in fact, some of it I did as favors to institutions that wanted to loan me money. $400 million compared to the assets that I have, all of these great properties all over the world, and frankly,
The thing, you could clear this up tonight by just releasing your tax returns yourself. I mean, that's what I understand. I think people.
No, he doesn't have to do that.
You're the only-
He doesn't have to do that, Karen. Show me your taxes.
excuse me, no, but you
The
accused
IRS says that doesn't stop you from
accused
releasing.
me of not being under audit previously, and
I
so
did
did other
not.
people at NBC.
Look at that crazy smile.
That was solved.
I feel so sorry for her husband.
No person in their right mind.
He's got to live with that.
A great decision for our country.
You
along
running
with
as
the
a
other
pro-life
good people I put
Republican.
there.
Most pro-life Republicans would like to see Roe v. Wade overturned and abortion banned.
Many of them would.
Which do you
Perhaps
think?
I would, just because you refuse to say that it's murder and that it's abused very often. But yeah, there needs to be some limitations, in my opinion. That's all.
As the mother of a young male of color, I have raised him to respect authority, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also out of fear that he may face profiling or be considered a criminal.
Well, don't break the law, you know?
I've also had similar conversations with my high school students.
Don't break the
Mr.
law.
President,
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
I have to say, you have a great smile.
What a peach.
You're so handsome when you smile.
We want people to come into our country, but they have to come in through a merit system and they have to come in legally. And people are very, very happy with it. You haven't.
You have been promising this immigration bill since, well, at least July, when you told my colleague on Telemundo it was coming, but nothing's come yet.
It's very happy. The fact is,
Because of the pandemic, you stupid
you catch somebody
person.
to be a
The control room. Mr. President, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to the voters' questions. That concludes our town hall. We do want to thank the president.
So they had one guy
in hot Miami and all
ask a question.
Reminder, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are scheduled to meet.
You know when feminists say they want equality, this is what they mean. They mean that they want 9 out of 10 to be women and 1 to be men. Okay, so there's a live stream, folks. Yeah, I think it goes without saying, wow, she did a very bad job and I dislike her. But that's merely the obvious. And just look at these dislikes. They should be higher. Still though.